Good evening and welcome back to Rider's Path. If you've not seen my first video, that was a short trip to Conwy in Wales on my 2003 Honda Varadero. This is the second video that I'm doing. This is the start of the trip prep for my motorbike tour. It's the first time that I'll be riding abroad, and it's the longest that I would have done so far by a long shot. So the preparation might be a bit OTT, but it's peace of mind for me while I'm on the road, you know. So yeah, this is the start of the preparation for it. I'm going to change the rear shock. It looks like it's seen better days. The chain and sprockets, give it a full service, and then get it sorted and ready to go with luggage and whatnot. So if you like European touring, or for some reason are a fan of Varaderos in particular, stick around. But I don't know, I think it should be fun.
Okay, let's go.
So we managed to get the 3 bolts out the bottom of the rear shock plates with a breaker bar. I tried with a standard Magnuson, I think it's called, socket set. Definitely not having it. But with the breaker bar, get a bit of leverage there. Worked an absolute treat. So all 3 bolts in the base plates are loose. So I'm going to get them out, get the rear shock out. Right, so we're back and she's out. As you can tell, she's pretty knackered. Now, a top tip when doing this that I've just figured out, I've been battling for ages to try and get it out the bottom. I don't want to have to mess about with the exhaust because that was a nightmare when I changed it. But the swing arm, as soon as it's loose, you've got some play. So you want to prop it up anyway at the right height while it's connected, just so it doesn't drop and you're not fighting the shock. But lift it up and you can manoeuvre it and bring it out the bottom. So that's the old one. And this one is the new. So I'm going to crack on with that and we'll see how we go. Okay, so to give you a bit of an explanation, these are the 2 plates that hold the rear shock, something like that. Now, what I've actually got is some new plates to put on, and they're actually going to lower the bike a little bit. I'm not the tallest of people, and because it's very top heavy, you know, I think it's going to be better, just for better slow manoeuvring and whatnot. But you'll see that the biggest bolt is actually at the top, and on these, and any lowering kits you should get for the Varadero, the biggest hole will be at the top, so you'll be able to sort of work out how it's meant to be from there. But that is how it was before it came off. So now I'm going to look at chucking the new one on with the new plates. I'm going to try use the old bolts because they do seem alright. They aren't sheared or rounded off or anything. So we'll try to get that in position and see how we get on. I'm going to start with getting the 1 bolt through the top, because that'll at least hold it in position, even though it will be loose at the bottom. That's going to hold it in position. I can then get the plates on and go from there. Okay, so from the underneath of the bike, you've got your big bolt that goes at the top, you've got your shock, and then you've got your little, that's look like a wishbone. So as you can sort of gauge from that, I don't know if that's any good, but that is how your plate goes. Big bolt at the top, shock, and then wishbone. So with the new ones, same principle applies. Should be like that. That's pointing down, which might mean they're backwards. Not too sure. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the gist of it anyway. Right, so the first plate's in, and before I started, the back tyre was actually sat on this wood with the suspension, with the stock suspension on. So you can see the space difference. It's just being held in by that one plate. But turns out that the arrow, I'll try to show you with a bit of light. So the arrow is pointing towards the opening that actually holds the shock. So even though there's the arrow in the writing, that's actually on the inside. So when I go to put this on, it's actually going to be like, I think it's like that. But for this one, the writing's on the inside. Can't see too well. There we go. So you can sort of see how that just slides in. And the space difference. It's pretty cool. And that's it. She's in. Got the new plates on. All bolted up. The only thing I haven't got is a torque wrench. So I'll have to nip it by a garage or something, just get them to make sure they're torqued up alright. But that is the hardest part, and the difference between 2 and 4 slats of wood. That's the difference of the height. I think it's about 35mm. But when I get it off, I'll be able to show you. Right, so now the new rear shock is on. We're all done. Let's take it off the centre stand and see how it sits. And the height difference as well will be quite interesting. I'll get the seat back on and we'll have a look. Right. Let's see. So that height is so much better. Seems to be working alright. Got a bit of bounce there. Spot on. So next up is to get the chain and sprockets off. You see the front guard's already off, but we'll make a start on that next. Now before I go, the front suspension does also need adjusting. I'm going to grab some verniers or digital calipers just to level up the front forks there. But no, I hope you enjoyed that video anyway. It's a little bit of an insight on how to change a rear shock by yourself. And the next one will be the chain and sprocket, so keep an eye out for this next video.